What we're talking about is how to wrap your hands by yourself without your coach doing it. So now when you purchase wraps from the get-go, this is essentially what it's gonna look like. And when you get these guys, you want to buy the 180-inch wraps, 180. Now, I'm not knocking anybody, but if you go to a traditional sporting goods store, they're gonna be 110 inches. That's no good, it's not gonna work for us. Before you buy them, go home and try to do what we're gonna do right now and find out they don't fit and then have to take them back. Just work with me on this one. If you need assistance or direction to go, write me in the comments and I'll point you in the right direction so you know where to get the right wraps. So once again, 180-inch wraps, that's what we got going on here. Now when you get them, they're gonna look like this, okay? Whatever brand. You're gonna have to re-roll them because when you start this, you want the thumb roll at the end. Now here's how we're gonna get this going on. And once again, this is a very general, basic way, beginner's way to wrap your hands. We could do a different wrap every day of the week for the next year. We're just getting the ball rolling and get you started on this, okay? So when you go to class or when you're wrapping your hands at home, you have an idea what's going on. Now I said this in the previous video that you always wanna wrap away from the heart. On here, I'm gonna start, well, I have to wrap around my thumb. You wanna go away from it. You wanna go away from the heart and away from the thumb. And this will make sense here in a second. Because if you don't, it restricts blood flow and it starts to go the opposite way, and pretty soon you're gonna have a big old mess. I've spent a lot of years wrapping ankles, shoulders, hands, elbows, everything. I spent years in the training facility, the training room at college. When I was going to college and I was learning all this, it just really clicked with me and I love wrapping ankles and hands and all that stuff. I didn't know why, but I would spend most of my days just in the training room wrapping from baseball players, football, hockey, tennis, everybody. I'd end up wrapping their joints. And then come to be in the hole years later in the fight game, you know, I'm the best at it wrapping hands, or one of the best. This is something there's a definite technique to it and it takes time. Don't think you're gonna get this right now and wrap your hand and it's gonna be like, oh, perfect, I can go, you know, jump in the ring right now and fight. But just get started. If you have questions, hit me back up and we'll get you all squared away so you don't have any problems with it. Here we go. Here's your stretchy 180-inch wrap. Now, what we're gonna do is place the thumb through the hole. Now, we're going away from the thumb. I'm gonna wrap once. That's one whole complete wrap. Now, I'm gonna go halfway up. Here we go. So now we're starting the wrap. So now from here on out, it's gonna go away from my thumb, but I need something to start with. So from here, so we've gone around twice. If you're a little bit bigger, you'd probably still stick with it twice. If you're a little bit smaller, say if you're about $1.70 or $1.50, you can go around 3 times. That's okay. And you'll find your own way how many times you need to wrap it the more you do this, obviously. So just be chill with it. And when you're wrapping this, you want it to be taut. Not tight, just taut. Just snug it. After you get done with it, you still have to have blood circulation. So we've gone around, depending on the size you are, either 2 or 3 times around your wrist. Now from here, now notice my fingers are open. I'm not like this. They're gently open. I'm not like pulling them open, just nice and relaxed. Everything we do is nice and relaxed. So we've gone 3 times around the wrist. It can be 2 or 3. Pretty much everything we do right now is gonna be 2 or 3, depending on your size. So from here, I'm gonna go around my pinkies. I want the wrap in the middle of my bone, so it just goes over my knuckles enough. So I'm gonna go that 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. From here, I'm taking it up to the thumb. From here, around, to the thumb. Now, let's go the biggest finger. We're gonna go the one closest to the thumb. Slide it in there. Once around the wrist. That's gonna lock it in so it doesn't slide down my thumb. Let's go to the middle finger. Boom. And then the last finger, the pinky. Boom. So it's now all in there. Now real quick, make a fist, open it back up. It should feel good. Now, let's go around the wrist one more time. So those are all locked in. Boom, we're good to go. Now let's hit that thumb. We're gonna go over the top of the thumb. Over the top of the thumb. Boom. Boom. Now I'm gonna go around the knuckles one more time. So it's all snug in there. Now let's take it up to the top. We're gonna make figure eights. From here, take it back up, once around. Okay, so there's our first figure eight. Well, let's make another one, but I'm not gonna go directly above where I just did. I'm still halfway mark. I cut it in halfway, boom. Take it back down, halfway. So I'm crossing them, but it's not directly right on top of it. Bring it back. Now that'll save you enough. You can usually wrap the wrist once or twice before the Velcro will reach. So here, and boom. Okay, there's no spots missing. You don't see any skin. You make your fist. So my knuckles are covered, your knuckles are covered, and my wrist support. Okay, so that's what we need is wrist support, and then you're gonna cover your knuckles. It goes the whole way. I have my thumb covered, and then this is enough padding, as little as in here as we need, but it's covering the knuckle and supporting the wrist. Now, some people like the wrap to start here. I've always liked my wraps to start higher, so that's preference. You'll find out how that goes when you get going. But just get it. And now when you're done right now, it shouldn't feel like it's cutting the circulation off. It should just feel like nice, like you can punch something and go. Take your time with this process. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. We'll get you there. It takes a minute to wrap your own hand. And like I said, there's a ton of different ways we can wrap this. So this is just one way to get you started, okay? So just work with me. If you've seen something somewhere else, I can show you that wrap as well. But this is just to get the party started and get you wrapping your own hands. But once again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments, put it in the comments, or contact me directly and I'll get you taken care of. 180 inches, that's what we need. So for right now, if you didn't know, now you know.